0, 1. Let's get started. 0, 1.
Welcome to We Are Every Woman, the podcast where we come together as sisters, mothers, daughters, and friends to share stories, wisdom, and strength. I'm your host, Ruth, and I believe every woman carries a story that can inspire, heal, and empower. And today, I want to open up and share my guest, Miss Teresa Gray, and her journey. How are you doing, Teresa?
Doing good, Annette.
Good. I'm so excited to have her as my first guest. Well, okay. So first I want to just ask you, I know you are the monarch of the family, and I wanted to know, what was it like growing up in a family of 8 children?
Well, very busy. It was busy.
Yeah.
We didn't have to have a whole lot of outside friends, so that made it all that much better. So your sisters and your brothers were actually your best friends, so that's where friendship come in, is being friends with your family.
Oh, that's amazing. I can imagine it was beautiful. Okay.
It was.
Good.
It had its rough times, but then it was all positive and good, too, in the end.
Yeah. So what lessons from your parents or your siblings have shaped who you are today?
Well, I just feel like Mama always made it important that your brothers and sisters was very important. So if they needed you, you should always be there for them, regardless, because family comes first.
Right. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I know a lot of people would probably want to hear that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Family is important.
Yeah. So what role did the church play in your life as a child and a teenager?
Well, I feel like it balanced you as far as how to be a sister, how to be a, friend and stuff like that. I feel like the church was important because you always knew your do's and your don'ts.
Right.
Going by the Bible, you always try to make sure that you did everything that was right. Sure, there's a lot of things you didn't do that was right, but most of the time it's keep you grounded into doing what's right and what's wrong and having a good outlook on knowing what's right and wrong. So the Bible to me is right and wrong.
Yeah. I can relate to that. Yeah, I can relate to that.
You're either going to be right or you're going to be wrong, so you know the difference.
That's right.
The church taught you how to know the difference between right and wrong.
That's right. Those values, yes. Okay, well, that's beautiful. And I know I can relate to that. So what inspired you to go into, the nursing field, taking care of people?
I've always been a nurturer anyway, because I was the oldest sister, so nurturing came easy to me.
Right.
So
right.
once I got tired of doing some of the jobs that I've done, I never thought I could do a nursing job, a caregiving job. But once I left town and came back, that was a job that was offered to me, and I actually liked it. Once I got back in town and once I started doing that type of work, I actually enjoyed helping people because that's what I always done, was help people. So
right.
it was easy to me.
Yes. Being a nurturer, that's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, because I was a nurturer and I was always a helper. So I always liked helping people. So if I could make a living helping people, that was good too.
Right, it's like not work. It's just like doing you. Okay.
Not working really hard, choosing your hours and choosing the cases that you wanted to do.
Exactly.
So that was a plus with that kind of job.
Right.
It's always choosing your hours and choosing your time that you want to do it, and still making decent money doing it.
Exactly. I can relate to that.
And helping people too, on the side, still helping people,
Yeah, that's relatable. I can relate. So can you share one of the most meaningful or memorable moments from your time, like doing your private duty or working in the surgery department?
To me, working in surgery and working in caregiving, they were both sort of different because, even with the surgery and the caregiving, I felt like I learned a lot of stuff. I learned how to take care of people because I wasn't never trained to take care of people, but I just got thrown into that job and I ended up liking it. Now, surgery was different because it taught you a lot of stuff about the medical field, the surgery, doing the procedures and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting because there's always something I I like doing.
Yeah. Well,
So that was a nice job. I like doing surgery. I like learning the stuff that I could learn in surgery. Now, when I first went into surgery, like I said, it was scary, because you never done that stuff before. So I think all of them have a good positive message as far as the surgery part. And me, I learned a lot of stuff about surgeries and different procedures they were doing, which I never would have probably knew anything about it had I not worked in that job. So
okay.
That I don't have a significant story to tell about what I learned. It's just all of it was inspiring to me because it's stuff that I never would have probably learned if I hadn't worked in surgery. I never, being in the hospital was fun, but it just was a fun job to me.
Okay.
It kept me busy, kept me learning a lot of stuff.
So no funny moment, no moment of anything you can share with us?
No, it was never, everything it was always serious to me.
Exactly.
I do have one story, like when they first came out with the laparoscopic removal of the gallbladder. Because gallbladders always was a serious surgery where they open you up.
Right.
So I did get to learn how they did it when they did it laparoscopic. So they just went in and kind of made little incisions on the side where your gallbladder was, and they just pulled their gallbladder straight through a little hole.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was really inspiring. That was something to learn because, like I said before, they'd always did surgery.
Yeah.
Cut you open. But then now when they did laparoscopic, they didn't have to no longer cut you open. So that was a pretty good story right there. I learned a lot from that.
That's interesting. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that is really interesting. I got to look that up. So, well, how did catering kind of fit into your journey? What did it give you that nursing didn't give you? Cooking.
Well, because it was two different things. Like, I've always liked cooking because my grandfather always cooked a lot.
Right. When
we were younger. So when he started burning up everything on the stove, I just kind of took over for him because he got too old. So it was they're two different things. Learning how to cook for my grandfather was a plus.
Right.
Plus, I had brothers and sisters that I had to do that for. So I just kind of used that over the years to cater stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I was used to making big meals and stuff like that. So catering came easy to me because I was always used to cooking for a big family. So the catering part, that's pretty easy because I enjoy cooking.
Yeah, that seemed like it really, that experience really shaped you. That's beautiful. Okay. Well, what about faith and church life? You've been involved in church since you were 11. How has your faith carried you through life's and challenges? I know that's kind of redundant to one up that we just said, but being 11.
The church, I feel like going to church, and if you've been in church since you was 11, your faith grows while you're in church.
Right.
So the faith it stayed with me. It never left. So we always taught faith in church.
Yes, relatable.
And faith is a part of, what keeps us going, actually.
Right.
And like I said, going to church from the time you was 11 to the time you 66, faith played a very big part in my life.
Yes.
And it did shape me, to be the person I am now. Mm-hmm. Because it's like I said, we study that. The Lord's Word, So
I can relate
faith
to that.
came natural to me, I guess, because I was always a part of the church.
Exactly.
So faith always came kind of natural to me because I was always there.
And that leads me to my next question. What roles have you served in church over the years, which meant most to you, the things that you've done,
Well, because the church, I always worked in the kitchen in the church.
Okay.
So that was part of what I did.
Okay.
Because that was part of my life story. Because I worked in the kitchen, so naturally I would put that back into the church.
Exactly. Okay.
So that's what I did. I constantly worked in the kitchen at church. I do other little small things like maybe Ursher if they needed me, or Nurses Guild if they needed me. But mostly my passion was always food. So it always took me back to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Always.
Food for the soul. I can understand it. Okay. So, as the monarch of your family, what traditions or values are most important to you to pass down?
Well, holidays is always important to me, and I think holidays spending with your family is the most important.
Uh-huh.
So my tradition that I would pass down to people is just always keep your family first.
Right.
And I always have holiday meals.
Right.
Holiday meals and any kind of meals, Sunday dinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep that instilled in my family that through food.
Right.
Because it goes back to me being a caterer, being a nurturer. I mean, just fixing food, and that always brought my family to the house. So on big holidays, I always have big meals.
Yes.
And we celebrate holidays through meals, and we still do that to this day. I make sure I keep that tradition going.
Mm-hmm.
I do it myself, so I don't have to worry about anybody else contributing or whatever. I do it, so I'll make sure it's getting done.
That's beautiful. It is. Someone has to carry it out. That's really beautiful. Well, like, what advice would you give a younger generation about, I know, maybe a marriage or relationships or giving your own journey in certain things? What advice could you give them for today's people?
Always just be honest and true to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Don't accept just anything. Stand for what if you stand for something, stand on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, if a person show you who they are today, just believe that they're that way.
Exactly.
Don't put nothing else into it.
Right.
Trusting is hard nowadays, and people put your trust in people and relationships and stuff like that. But if you're true to what you are true to, then people can't stray you away from that.
There you go. If you're a duck, they show you they're duck, they're duck. Don't try to change
them
to nothing
else. If they are, then believe it.
That's
believe
it.
who they are when they show it to you the first time.
Yes, please do. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how did you keep your family close and connected? We just kind of went in on that. How you kept your family close and connected even as everyone grows older and busier. And you just said a little bit of it as far as having holiday meals and things like that.
Then I can still keep in touch with my family. I call my family a lot.
Okay.
If they need me, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? They call me, they need something. If I got it, they got it.
Right.
I just always want to be there for my family, be available for my family.
That's so beautiful because we need that.
I do.
We need that.
I'm really, truly like that.
Yes.
I care. I'm that nurturer, so I'm going to always be that way. I'm always going to be there for my family.
That's right.
So I want to instill in the family, you be there for your family because at the end, that's all you got.
That's it. And we need that in this world today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, looking back on your 66 years, what are you most proud of?
Well, actually, I'm most proud of being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of being a mother, actually.
Okay.
And I'm proud that I am the way that I am, and I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? I stand on who I am.
Right.
If I say I'm going to do something, if I say I'm going to be something, I'm going to do it.
Right.
I stand on my word. My word means everything to me.
Your word is your bond, yes. I can relate.
Yeah, my word means everything.
Okay, so if you could go back and tell your 20-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Life is a fight and a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't ever give up.
It's powerful.
Always keep going. Just keep going. Never give up. And keep the faith.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the faith. Because it works.
It's powerful, yes. Okay, well.
And learn how to get the faith. You don't get the faith overnight. The faith comes with a lifetime journey. Mm-hmm. So your lifetime journey, you should have faith at 66 years old. If you never had it. At 66, you should have faith.
You should have it, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you want to be remembered by your family, your church, and your community? How would you want to be remembered?
I just always want to be remembered as that person that was going to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
That if you needed her, she was there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. And she stood on her word.
She stood on it. That's beautiful. Yeah. And I know this conversation can help somebody out there because, a lot of people are lost. So I am so happy to have had you on here. And I just wanted to read a scripture, and it's from Psalms 139:14. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I really love that. And I always read this one verse. It says, to a strong woman. God needs you to see this verse. Psalms 46:5. God is within her. She will not fall. God would help her at break of day. What you've carried was never yours to fix alone. God's plans don't demand perfection. They welcome surrender. He's not asking you to keep holding it together. He's asking you to rest. Be still. You're a strong woman. You've overcome things that were meant to destroy you. You've cried through sleepless nights, gotten up, and wiped your own tears. The battles that were sent to break you only built you. And you're very, very thankful. And he's very thankful. And you've thanked God not because it was easy, but because he gave you strength to keep going. And I always want to read that because I think it's just so beautiful, and I think someone out there needs to hear that. So, in our closing, I want to thank you for sharing this moment with us, Teresa.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Okay. And remember, ladies out there, you're not alone. You're a part of We Are Every Woman. And until next time, hold on to your strength, your beauty, and your voice. I'm Ruth, and this is We Are Every Woman. See you soon. Peace out.